Hello there everyone. Good to see you on another session of microservices communication. This is fourth video in the series. If you are new to Spring Cloud Stream, I recommend watching my first 3 videos. They will help you to get production ready with Spring Cloud Stream. Alright then, let's begin with the session. This session is all about error handling in microservices communication. You know what? There is always a possibility of error no matter how robust application logic is. And in order to prevent application from failure, only thing we can do is to prepare for it. Spring Cloud Stream provides flexible mechanism to handle them. The error handling primarily comes in two flavors: application error handling and system error handling. In application error handling is done within the application. That is, user need to configure listeners for error channel. While in system error handling is delegated to the binder. And as error handling is delegated to binder, it might be possible that properties to configure system error handling or default values of the properties might be different from Kafka to RabbitMQ binder. In this session, we will take a look at RabbitMQ as an example. Let's understand system error handling in depth. System error handling implies that if no internal error handlers are configured, then errors are communicated back to the binder, and the binder subsequently propagates these errors back to messaging system. There are three ways to configure system error handling. First one is drop failed message. This is default, and as name suggests, if no additional system level configuration is provided, the messaging system drops the failed message. While acceptable in some cases, for most of the cases it is not, and we need to have some recovery mechanism to avoid message loss. Second approach is requeue failed messages. At this point, you can facilitate message reprocessing by instructing messaging system to requeue failed message. Once requeued, the failed message is sent back to original handler, essentially creating never-ending retry loop. This option might be feasible for cases where nature of error is related to some sporadic yet short-term unavailability of some resource. That is, system is expected to work after retry. And last approach is DLQ. DLQ allows failed message to be sent to a special destination called as dead letter queue. Let's move lab to try hands-on. And yes, good news is Kafka and RabbitMQ supports all these three type of system error handling. Now let's bring up our RabbitMQ instance. We can see our RabbitMQ instance is up and running. Now let's create our microservice. I will take help from Spring Starter project. The name of the project is System Error Handler. Let's add dependency of CloudStream and Spring for RabbitMQ. Now I'll create one subscriber which will take data from our topic and pass it to the interior and print on the console. Now, by this time, you might have got familiar with the syntax that we have to just define one consumer bean, and Spring Framework takes care of all the auto wiring between topic and subscriber. Now, in order to demonstrate retry approach, I will just create one variable over there, retry count, and I will print over here. And at end of it, I will reset the count. Now let's test our application. Application started. You can see number sync over here. Let's publish some message 1, 2, 3, 4. As we can see, first attempt to deliver data, and data is printed on the console in integer format. Now what happens if we pass the string instead of number? As we can see, it tried 3 times, and after that it thrown exception. So by default, behavior of RabbitMQ binder is it will try himself for 3 times, and if if message is not successfully delivered, then he will drop the message. So this is what first type of system error handling, that is dropping message. Now let's see how we can configure this behavior. I will stop this application, and let's increment the counter. I forgot initially to do that. So this Spring's property defines how many retry attempts application should do. So this is the topic name, consumer max attempt. Now let's try this one and see the behavior. Let's publish one message. As we can see, it just tried first attempt and immediately thrown the exception. Now we want to see how retry mechanism works. So for that purpose, we need to add one more property over there. So again, as we are using RabbitMQ, this property is specifically related to RabbitMQ binder. So if you are using Kafka binder, you may have to look for equivalent property for Kafka binder. So here we can see this is name of the topic, and we are seeing requeue rejected true. And we need to add one more property. This is again republish to DLQ equal to false. So by default, this flag is true, but in order to work requeue, we have to make this flag as false. Now, once we make requeue rejected true, it will keep trying with never ending loop till application throws AMQ rejected and don't requeue exception. Now we will throw AMQ reject and don't requeue exception after, let's say, 1,000 retry. Let's test the application. Now, if I enter correct number string, then we get proper data on the console. But if I enter here some string which can't be passed to the number and do publish message, and here also in queue you are seeing sudden spike of messages. That means after exception it is getting requeued and again retry is happening. 999 attempt to deliver data. So it means it tried to requeue it for 999 times, and after that it throws that AMQ reject and don't requeue exception. After that it dropped the message. That's all about the second type of system error handling, requeue messages. Now we'll see third type of system error handling, that is DLQ. Now let's understand third and last type of system error handling, that is DLQ. So I will update this property with the required one. So as you can see, these properties are related to RabbitMQ, the name of the topic, and autobind DLQ equal to true and republish to DLQ is equal to true. We have introduced here one more concept called as consumer group. We'll understand what is consumer group after the lab. Now let's remove this retry part. Now let's execute the application. If you notice in the list of exchanges, we started getting one new queue called as DLX, and this is the one which we are consuming messages from. So if I enter here correct string, we can see on the console. But if I enter here something which can't be passed to number, then exception is thrown and message got transferred to DLQ. Now if I go to DLQ, you can see one message appeared over here. Go to queue, the same thing, and if I scroll down and do get message, you can see the ASD string which we have transferred, and we received exception as well, number format exception. Now in order to listen to this special destination DLQ, you have to write rabbit listener in the application. So let's try that. Here rabbit listener, and queue will be queue which we want to listen to. So this name matches with our DLQ queue name, this one over here. Now let's restart the, yeah, we just got our previous message. Now let's try again. Go to exchanges, enter correct message. We can see it is getting printed on the console. But if we enter something not a number. Then after retry, we got in our message from DLQ. This is from our rabbit listener. That's all about system error handling. As you can see, it's pretty easy to configure system error handling. We have to just remember few properties, and a system or binder will take care of queuing back message either to DLQ or the same queue in order to do retry. Now we'll see what is application error handling. We need to understand one more concept called as consumer groups to understand application error handling. In order to scale application, we create multiple instances of given application. While doing so, only one of the instances is expected to handle a given message. Spring Cloud Stream models this behavior through concept of consumer groups, where all groups that subscribe to given destination receives a copy of published data, but only one member of each group receives a given message from the destination. Just remember this concept. Once we move to lab, we'll see how we can utilize this concept in application error handling. Now, in application error handling, as name suggests, error handling is done within the application. That is, user need to configure listeners for error channel. If there are multiple subscribers within application, we can configure error handler for each individual subscriber, or we can have just one global subscriber which handles all the exception from all the subscriber. Now let's move lab to do hands-on. Now let's create project for application error handling. I will make here app error handler 1. Dependencies will be CloudStream and Spring for RabbitMQ. So here we will write two subscribers. First subscriber will take data from topic and pass it to the integer and print on the console. Second subscriber will take the data from topic and divide some random number using that data. So let's write here. Now define application properties. So here we have just defined our cloud function as number sync and divide sync. Then we are wiring topic to the subscriber, and here we have defined two groups, number sync and divide sync. Now for each subscriber, Spring creates a dedicated error channel, and the syntax for channel will be topic name, group name, dot errors. So now let's subscribe to this channel. First to number sync. And another for divide sync. Now let's wire error channel with this function. With service activator, and input channel will be as I have described here, topic name, after that group name and errors. Similarly for divide sync as well. This is topic name, group name and errors. Now let's test this application. As we can see here, both the topics are listed. Now if I send one message to here, we can see number sync as 1 2 3, and if I send some message into divide sync, it will show some random integer divided by that number. Now let's see what happens if we send something which is not expected or incorrect format of data. So I'm sending here string. Now we can see error from number sync, and this is our payload. And now let's try divide sync. So here we will send 0 and perform publish message. Now we can see error from divide sync, and let's wrap this one so we can see arithmetic exception divide by 0. And for numbersing, we will see here number format exception, as we were trying to format a string to number, and here we try to divide any random number by 0. That's how easy it is to configure a error handler for each subscriber. Now, as we can see, for both the subscriber, we are printing messages on the console, or we might do like something sending to some specific queue. So basically, like, logic is same or error handling is same for each subscriber. At that time, there is no need to write individual subscriber handler. Instead of that, we can just define one global handler which takes input from all the subscribers and perform action. Let's see how to configure global subscriber for the application. So this format is for individual channel subscriber. Spring Cloud Stream automatically provides support for global error channel by bridging each individual error channel into the channel named error channel, allowing single subscriber to handle all errors. So for global error handler, you will subscribe to error channel. So let me remove this additional subscriber. Input channel name will be error channel, and here this is global error handler. Now let's test the application. Now for number sync, as we can see, if I send correct data, it will get printed over the console. If I send correct data, that means other than 0 to divide sync, then it divides some random integer and prints on the console. But again, if I send something incorrect data, so you can see our global handler got the message and we printed on the console saying it is number format exception. The input string is ASD. And let's try same thing for divide channel. We can see again our global handler got invoked, and here we are seeing arithmetic exception divide by 0. That's how simple it is to configure application error handling for Spring microservices. That's all for today's session. Stay tuned to get updates about current technology trend. Thank you.